Hi and welcome back again. In this video I don't have any particular aim. The only thing I want to do here is I want to go through the order handling application and well, basically just change stuff and explain what I'm doing while I'm changing it, to kind of take the imported code that we have not changed yet very much and get a little more done. Also to give you guys a feel of how you sit on a day-to-day basis and work with the application definition. Right now I'm logged in as M. Lundegger. I'm in API Tailor. I choose the order handling project now, and I'm ready to start doing some final touches and tweaks on this application. I will go to orders, the scheme orders, for instance. I know that in inventory there is a field which is under the field groups inventory general called quantity, and I want to do some changes here. First of all, I want to show it in the list so we can show this thing. I also want to be able to search on quantity. I don't want the field to be able to be blank. And I would like the default quantity to be 1 from the very start. It's an integer and it's a number, so that's all very fine. Yeah, we can also say that the minimum quantity should be 0, and I can write that negative numbers are not allowed. Negative numbers. I could have said it, put in a maximum as well. Minimum is fine, and basically that's the definition of quantity in inventory. The inventory transactions, which is basically what builds up the quantity in inventory. Well, one step further back, orders, inventory transactions. I don't want those particular to be in a menu. I want that to be some transactions that's in a relation below either the inventory itself or below the client. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm going in somewhere here in the start and I say hide menu, and then it won't show up in the main menu. And I'll save that. In orders table, customer orders, whoops, we have a deadline, which is probably under process here. A delivery date it's called. First of all, I'd like to search for that. So show in search forms as well. And in admin, I'd actually also like to make it editable. The delivery date is kind of the mark you put on an order saying, okay, now this is delivered. So we want to be able to kind of say, okay, this is delivered, this is not delivered in a search. So that is done now. The telephone numbers in customers is another thing I might want to look upon a little bit. They should be under contact information here. We have a telephone number. 100 characters is probably a little too much. I could go into each field here. There's another way. We have these icons over here. If I go to general here, I'll get the 4 fields up, and I can actually say telephone here 20 and 20, for instance, and I will save that, and then in one go I basically change both the telephone numbers. If we go to the table customer products, which should be somewhere here, it's here. We have a couple of fields down here again. We have a minimum stock, and we have a resupply quantity, where I'd like to do some changes. First of all, minimum stock cannot be negative, and the resupply quantity can also not be negative. So let me start changing those things. Validations, minimum is 1. What was it? It was minimum stock. Let me just check if there are any other things that would be nice to change. Default value could be 1. That would make sense. Stock cannot be stocks. It doesn't work that way. So let me change that for a second. It cannot be blank. That makes no sense either. The minimum stock I'd like to show in lists as well. So that was minimum stock. Let me go back and take the resupply quantity here. Resupply quantity, we'll put that at a default value of 0 as well. Let me put a dash in here and a dash in here. Resupply quantities would make more sense. Cannot be blank. Showing lists, and group cannot order 0 or less units. So we have that. I save that as well. You see how I'm kind of just working in forms here, getting everything done. I think for the whole product scheme, I did, just as an example before, I don't know if you saw that video, but in products, I went in under presentation here, and I said everything should be, the panel should be dark blue. I think I want to do that for the whole scheme. So all the tables within the scheme products, that means barcodes and product lists, etc., that they are all dark blue, so we can kind of, when we are running the application, we can determine, oh, this has to do with products. So I will change the design panel here underneath the table products to default and save that. Then I'll go one step up. Now I'm in products, which, but that's the scheme products. I mean, here I have a presentation tab here as well, or here as well. And design, sorry. Where are we? Here, design. And I'll change that so the design panel is dark blue. That means everything underneath products will be dark blue. And I'll save that as well. We have a table called product. Yeah, we were in products already. Under the dimensions, I saw a little problem here. There is an extra S on dimensions and in plural, and that doesn't really make any sense. So let me delete that S. So that's done. Whoops, we have a char field here in width. Apparently the import didn't see that coming. So I will go in and I'll change the width to integer, which is a number field. That's all very well. Yeah. I should change the semantics as well. It's a dimension. We will have a whole video on semantics at a later point. So that's changed as well. Quantities in general should not be able to be a null value. And a way of dealing with that throughout an application is to go to the database model, say fields, search. We can show all from the very start. Then we can do a search on quan. Yeah, that's it. Star, quan, star. Find everything that kind of has to do with quantity. There are kind of a lot of those. And I'd like to, let me see what we have here. We have some properties. I think that's where we have. Yeah, can be blank. I don't want any blanks in quantities. So that's changed throughout the application by doing it like that. Again, this is one of these things that's very nice about having everything in a database. You can kind of go into a certain area, for instance, fields, and say, okay, please give me all the fields that has a certain criteria, and then you can do the changes in one go, no matter what field or what table they're in. So that's a nice way of going. The changes I did here, I could continue because there are probably a ton of other small stuff that I could tweak. Well, maybe it was half of what should be done in this application. At this point, I spent 12 minutes doing these changes, and they will all reflect in the program that we produce. A way of getting an overview of what data is already in our application model here is to go to scheme and just take one scheme at a time, and then go to products, for instance. And I have this button here called a report. If I click the report button, first I have the project, which is order handling. We know that. Then we have the tables, where we have everything for each table. We also have the relations and the field groups for each table. Here we have all the fields in one place. And we can just go in, and if there's anything needs to be changed, we can go to the change and change it and go back again and move on. Everything where it's let's say for some reason I want the weight to be in a list, I can also just change that by clicking on it. And if I go down to fields, weight again, now this is checkmarked as true. I want to put it back to false though, so I'll click on it once again, and we have it back on false. So you have this overview, and you have that for each scheme. If I go to i.e. the customers, I can click reports here, and now we are into the report for a customer, where you have all the design choices. This is, by the way, also a very nice way of doing things. If you want to document stuff, you can print this out and basically tell your client to go in and make changes on paper or however they want to do it. So that's nice. We have the customer address 2, zip code 100. That's a little too much, I think. Let me change that to 20. So general 20. And we are back here. City name 100. I don't know. Country, that's also a little too much. Let's change that to 60, for instance. So this is a way of kind of having overviews and doing these final touches plus documentation on your application definition. The only thing left to do here is basically to go to the project, order handling now, and I will click on code. And the changes that I have made will now be a part of the order handling system when it's regenerated. And basically, well, we have learned some techniques here and some options that you can choose in fields and tables and field groups. But we have also learned how to kind of sit in the API Tailor interface and do these changes. So thanks for now, and thanks for watching. And by the way, here's our code. So our code is now updated. Bye bye.